Welcome back everyone to Blender and Unreal Engine, becoming a dungeon prop artist. Now, we have got a problem. As you can see, we've got these little parts here, and I basically want to get rid of those and fill all of these parts in. So these are kind of fiddly just to get hold of, really. I think maybe we could do this the easy way. If I press 1 and look at this front view on, I think maybe I could probably get away with grabbing them all like this. So if I press Z, go into wireframe, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be very careful coming down like this, and I'm going to press delete and faces, and then I'm going to do the same on this part here. So like here, and you can see I missed it because I didn't quite come far enough down. So just down to here and delete and faces, and there we go. Now the one part that I have missed, I think, is this back part here. So I'm going to press Z, solid, and I'm just going to delete faces. And the reason I've deleted the face there, by the way, is because now I can actually go across and fill all this in at the same time. So what do I mean by that? I mean that I should delete this one as well, is what I mean. So grab this one, Control plus, delete faces, and there we go. Now let's fill this in. So Alt Shift click, Alt Shift click, Alt and F, fill it in. And now finally, let's bring it in a little bit as well. So if I grab them going all the way around, so E, and then Enter, Alt and S, bring it in a little bit, like so. Just bearing in mind that these top corners here aren't actually going in too well. So let me have a look at this again. I'm just going to have a look. Because it's got a bevel on, it is making it a little bit difficult for us. So what we need to do is we need to come in and then we need to fix those overlapping ones. So I'm going to make sure that I've not actually got my extrude on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E again and then Alt and S and bring it in. We're only going to be able to bring it in very slightly, as you can see, because those over here need to be joined together now. So let's go in. I'm just going to check my mesh on this top bit. We can see we've got a fair few problems. So let's see if we join this one and this one together. So what we're going to do is we're going to press right click, come down, merge at center, and you can see that's actually fixed that. Now we are going to have a problem with the others, but we've got a special button that we can press. So if you click both of these, press Shift R, you can actually repeat the last process that you did. So now you can see that they're looking much better. So let's now do the same on here. So Shift R, and let's come do the same on here, Shift R. And now what we need to do is we need to go underneath, same thing again, Shift R, and there we go. Then we'll just keep rejoining them in the center, and then all we need to do is actually pull them out. So I'm just going to grab all of these with Shift R, Shift R, and there you go. All right, so that's looking a lot better, apart from the fact that they're going in a little bit, which I don't like. So now I just want to fix those. And well, that is relatively easy to fix anyway, because we can just use our medium point. So we go over the top and I press S and Y. You can see that I've brought them in now, and now they're pretty flush. So now if I press Z, wireframe, sorry, Z, solid, double tap the A. There we go. Now I'm happy with that. The only thing I'm not happy with is all of this mesh around here. It's really not actually good to have it like that. So instead what we should do is we should just go in, grab it going all the way around here if we can. So Control click in all the way around like so. And then what we'll do is we'll mark a seam. So all the way around to here, and then Shift click, Control click all the way around, marking 2 seams. And the reason we're going to do that is because now we can actually come in, grab this with L, and it should only select up to there. Now what we can do is we can press delete and we can click on faces, and now we can just rejoin all that, because at the moment we've got a lot of problems with the mesh and we don't really want that. So if I now Alt Shift click, Alt F, you can just see how much cleaner that actually looks, and that's much better now. All right, so I'm really happy with how that looks. Now that's both of those done now. So what we can do now is we can make a star on the other one. So if I pull up the actual, where is it? This one here. So this one is a kind of table type chest. So just make sure that when you're creating this one, you just imagine it as a, a much smaller chest. All right, so now what we'll do is I'll put that over that side. and then I'll bring in the new chest. I'll just move this over like so. And now we've got a cursor in the center, Shift A, bring in a cube, make it much smaller. Still wants to be a little bit more of a rectangle, like so. Put it up on the ground plane, and then what I'll do is I'll pull it up now. So I'm going to press E on the top of it, pull it up, S, Y, bring it together, and there we go. Now we're going to kind of do exactly the same thing as what we did with the other one. So I'm going to first of all bevel this off. So Alt Shift click, Control B, and we certainly don't want to bevel like that. So I'm going to put it on 1. I'm going to we don't need to reset anything else actually. That should be absolutely fine. And now what I want to do is bring in some more edge loops. So Control R, 2, left click, right click, S and X, bring them out like so. And then the bottom, so Control R, bring it down like so. And I'm looking now at the sides. Maybe this wants to come in. So we'll do the same thing as what we did in the other one. So I'm just going to bring this in. I'm just wondering if it's worth actually bringing it in, because sometimes it's actually not worth bringing it in, because this is going to be metal. Yeah, we will. We'll bring them in. So we'll bring them in like so. Yeah, like that. I think that looks pretty good. All right. We'll also mark a seam on those. So mark seam like so. And then what we'll do is we'll also mark a seam on these parts as well, and the underneath. So Control E, mark seam. And now let's bring in this part in. So I'm thinking from here to here, press the I button, bring it in. So we'll grab it going all the way around now. So Alt, Shift and click, going all the way around, right click, mark seam. All right, so that should be fine on there. That should be fine on there. That should be fine on there. So now if I come in, I should be able to just grab all of this going around here. I should be able to split it off with Y and then P selection like so. Now let's come and grab this middle part and just separate it off. Now the one thing I can see, if I bring that back, is that this goes all the way down to here. And yeah, actually we could probably do it like that. It looks actually good like that, so we'll do it. What I'm looking at is this is a bigger part of metal than this part, but I think it will be okay. So we'll just hide this part out of the way again. I'll press Control A, or transform, right click, so origin to geometry, and now what we'll do is we'll bring in our solidify, even thickness on, and we'll bring it outwards like so. And then what I'll do is I'll press Alt H. I'm just looking. If I'm happy with that, I'm going to press Alt H. Yeah, and I think I am. I'm going to grab this one now. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, like so. And I'm just going to make sure everything fits, because at the moment, as you can see, we're bringing it out and it's just bringing it out, and it'll bring it out to the same level. So we don't really want that. What we want to do is we want to grab everything, make sure that we're on individual origins, and then bring it out, because then that's going to make everything fit much, much better like so. In fact, that's much easier to do it that way. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to bring in some edge loops. So Control R, 2, left click, right click. Let's do the other side, 2, left click, right click. And now let's work on the bottom. So 3, 3, and then just 3 on this one, because it is a smaller one. And then 3, like so. And now we've just got the underneath. Let's do that. So 3, and now these bits here. So these bits on here, can I get away? Oh, I can. That's really handy. So we'll put in just 1. That's made it really easy for me. Now, the one thing I should have done actually while I was doing that is just mark a seam on everyone. It would have made it much, much quicker. But instead now, I'm just going to have to go round each one, marking a seam, ready to actually split them off. So right click, mark seam. And now finally, let's split these off. So L, I'm going to actually, I think all these are split off anyway. So if I just come in and grab them like this, they should all be split off already, which is going to make it easier for me. Let's grab them all going down like that. And you can see here that I didn't mark a seam on there, so I'll do those ones in a minute. So I'm going to press Y, G. Okay, and now we'll do this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab both of these, Y, G, split them off. Now, let's see if we grab all of these. We press tab, Control A or transforms, right click, origins geometry. We bring in a solidify. So let's bring in a solidify. We're bringing a modifier, a bevel modifier on top of that. And there we go. Really, really simple stuff to get those up there. Now, finally, what I want to do is I want to turn down the thickness of the bevel. So I'm going to put it in 0.103, like so, and they look fantastic. Really nice. Okay, so that's basically near enough done already with this one. Now, what you could do if you wanted to is you could, put some more edge loops in there and really batter this up a little bit. I don't think we're going to do that. I think I'm actually happy with how it looks. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply all of those modifiers. So I'm going to grab it all. I'm going to come now to Object, Convert, Mesh, and apply them all, and then press Control B. And now, finally, the last thing I want to do is I just want to raise up just this top. So if I press E, I'm just going to bring it up like that, and I think that looks a lot better. One thing I did forget to do is I forgot to grab all of this. So I'm just going to come in once more. I'm going to press P, selection, grab it again, Control A, all transforms, right click, origins geometry, and I forgot to actually bring in a bevel, so I need to bring that in. So I'm going to bring this down, up to 0.003, something like that. And I'm just looking to make sure that that's going to look okay. I think the problem we've got is this top part, I think I should maybe bring it in a little bit, I think. So I'm just going to try bringing this in. So S and Y. Yeah, and I think that's just going to look a ton better like that. All right, so let's apply that. Let's join it together with Control J. Let's save our work, and I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.